All right, ladies and gentlemen, just wanted to quickly get the live stream posted over on X and also in the Discord. But let's check it out. So, we are starting to see some nice moves across the board when it comes to the overall market. I see a lot of you in here. I'm actually going to, one second, let me make sure that I can have the chat open, as well as also addressing the health of the live stream. There we go. All right, so there we go. All right, so I see a lot of you in here. Cash, I see you. Bryce, JJ, welcome in everyone. I see a lot of you. Viking Cat, Randy Lee, Chip, Energy. There's so many of you guys in it. Welcome in to the live stream, everyone. Glad to see everyone joining up. I know it's a Monday. It's like midday Monday, so it's definitely going to be hard for a lot of people to join in. But don't worry, it will be going live on YouTube as well after. So welcome in, everyone. Glad to see a lot of you, joining up. I mean, hey, it's exciting. So we officially do get the launch date for the RLUSD stablecoin, which is going to be happening tomorrow. Very exciting stuff. Listen, this has been something that we have been waiting for a bit of time now. Hey, welcome in everyone. We already have super chats rolling. Mister with the 30. Hey, I appreciate it. We also have a $5 super chat as well from Serenity. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it a lot. Listen, we are about to see some very big moves going forward. We're going to address the chart. We're going to address some TA, going to address some price predictions as well for XRP. But we have, hey, Nick, I sold all my XRP due to some financial struggles. Will there be another entry point? I hate to hear that, Serenity. Honestly, listen, I always advise to never sell the whole bag. Regardless of the situation, always keep some percentage allocated because of this. I know that everyone has a completely different struggle. I would ultimately wait to see the hype die down on the stablecoin launch because we could still see a pullback, which I will address in this video. So let's actually talk about a few things. Let's talk first about Bitcoin because we do have to address Bitcoin. Then I will, talk about XRP. In terms of the Bitcoin dominance situation, we are sitting at about 56.5%. We have started to see a few, big pushes on the chart, which, again, I will open up the chart. We'll do some TA in a bit, but I want to go over the big news first, which is, of course, the RLUSD launch, because that's the biggest thing right now that we do need to address. And if we look at a few things initially, number one is Bitcoin. Bitcoin broke to a new all-time high. In my video from yesterday, I did say, we do have some resistance that we have to get through before we hit $110,000. We actually officially broke through all of that resistance, and we are now watching for the 110K. 110K is the big focus right now, as like the next big target for Bitcoin. If we do hit 110K and sell off from that point, retesting some nice lows, then we could see altcoins retesting some significant support, which I will talk about even with XRP as well. Talking about XRP, the trading volume. The trading volume was my biggest focus point yesterday because I told you guys that we were seeing trading volume dying down. In fact, if we go and look at the 1 month, you could see the trading volume on the bottom of this chart where CoinMarketCap is, right? You could see the trading volume dying down ever since that big spike back on December 2nd. The trading volume was my focus because we need to see more volume in order for the price to push higher. And we did not get that until we just got the announcement of the stablecoin. And full transparency, I do have a video scheduled for noon where I am talking actually about the price action and why I do think that we could still see the neckline being retested for XRP to print in that inverse head and shoulders. I don't believe that we're going to see that anymore simply because of this trading volume, but we could have a potential retest of lows, which I will address. But the trading volume is now up 78, almost 79%. And even from Chad Steingraber, we do have Let's Rock XRP volume and inflows explode on news of the official RLUSD launch, backed by some heavy hitters from the Federal Reserve, the FDIC, and even the Governor Reserve Bank of India. And yes, this is exactly what is pushing the price of XRP. It is FOMO because of this announcement. Again, a lot of people love to buy, they want to, buy the hype, sell the news. But in this case, they're actually buying the news. They didn't believe that the RLUSD stablecoin was going to launch this month. Because, early on, what we were hearing about was the regulators are going to drag their feet. We're not going to get the big launch. And all of a sudden, boom, we got the regulators approving the stablecoin. From that point on, guess what? With the stablecoin, there's basically nothing holding it back from launch. So that's why this is getting like pretty much pushed through. It's getting streamlined because there's no obstacles in the way. There's literally zero obstacles in the way of the stablecoin launch. Now, this is my post that I did say, hey, boom, RLUSD officially launches tomorrow. And it seems like XRP is loving the news with a big break above $2.50. Because at the time that I was recording that noon video, we were trading at about roughly like this level here, $2.43. We were just kind of peaking a little bit over resistance on the lower time frames. But we didn't get a big confirmation at all of a big break above $2.50 until after, right? But now we're trading at about roughly $2.55. You can see the big spike in the market on XRP, and that's because of the big, hype of this. Now, currently speaking, if we actually go over here to the chart, you could see why I'm not too excited about the price action right now. I'm not dead set on XRP having, a massive move to the upside of like the all-time high or anything like that, because again, this is hype buying. Usually with hype buying, it kind of dies down, which is when we start to see, sell-offs or anything like that happen, in terms of like liquidations. This is on the 4-hour chart. Now, yesterday, like I said, on X, I put out a post regarding this inverse head and shoulders pattern. Right now, this is not inverted in terms of the chart, but if I invert this chart, you can see what I was talking about, right? So on the upside, we have the head, right? This is the head. And then on the left side, we actually have the left shoulder. Now, on the right side, we actually have yet to revisit the level in which the left shoulder actually did hit, which is right around $2.25. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm seeing if we can, have a potential retest of those lows. Now, the big question is, where would we be looking at for a big rejection on this chart to have a retest of these lows if we were going to see it? Well, it would be around the neckline. Just like we saw back here on December 4th, right? We hit this level, this acted as resistance, and then we sold off to that level. Now, how would we get down there, right? Because now everyone's going to say there's absolutely no way that XRP is going to sell off. There's no way that XRP is going to hit this level now with RLUSD launching. I just want you guys to be aware that anything is still possible. There's always a possibility of, for example, in this case, Bitcoin selling off. Because Bitcoin is now in the area in which it would have, a little bit of some struggle, because anywhere between like 106 to 110K is where we should be looking at, to just kind of prepare for a sell-off, prepare for a rejection, prepare for, a little bit of a pullback in the market. If that is the case, okay, with Bitcoin dominance being as high as it is, altcoins will definitely get hit big. I just want you guys to understand that, with a lot of these big hype announcements like RLUSD, yes, it can cloud your judgment, but I just want you guys to be aware that I'm still potentially looking for a retest of these lows before the big, break to the upside. This definitely is a big catalyst, and I do think that from this point on, there's not going to be a lot of obstacles in the way of XRP to hit a new all-time high. It's just going to be corrections in the market. It's just all TA. But if you don't care about TA, if you don't care about lower time frame trading, then that's okay. You don't need to. All you need to know is that XRP will make a new all-time high. I strongly believe that XRP will make a new all-time high this cycle, and I do think that's going to be one of the biggest winners for this cycle. Why is that? Think about it. We have a pro-crypto admin taking office literally next month, okay? Gary Gensler stepping down next month. The RLUSD is now officially launching. Institutions embracing crypto on the sidelines. We have a very, very bullish environment right now for a lot of these projects. And I do believe that XRP has a lot to gain from a pro-crypto admin. And also, we now have regulations teed up for 2025. So think about that, all right? The entire environment and the landscape for XRP is actually extremely bullish. So yeah, short term, we might have some pullbacks. If I was looking for an area in which, I wanted to add more to my XRP bag, if I didn't already have a lot, and if I wanted, to up my average, I would be looking at anywhere between like $2.34 to $2.25. That's what I would be looking at, this whole area down here, because this is the area in which I do see, a lot of potential retest or wicks down to. And remember, wicks happen fast. They don't, stay there for a while. It's a very quick time in the market to really kind of watch those wicks happen. But if we go and look at the 15-minute, we could see the big move to the upside, a little bit of a sell-off. Nothing too crazy just yet in terms of price action. But let's actually address this stablecoin, and let's address why this stablecoin is actually very, very bullish. By the way, real quick, just want to address some of you in the chat. We have Viking Cat. Yes, the stablecoin launch is tomorrow, RPX. We don't know what time tomorrow. It's just tomorrow. That's all we got from Ripple. We also have Ryan in the chat, Chris in the chat, Paul in the chat, Michael in the chat, Houston Street in the chat, Spaceman 2.0 in the chat, Oswaldo in the chat. We got so many people in the chat. Welcome in, everyone. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. I know for a fact that it is a very busy Monday, so I do appreciate everyone stopping by and jumping in the chat. Thank you, guys. So we do have, like I said, the announcement from Ripple. The wait is over. RLUSD launches globally tomorrow. And we have Ripple USD is an enterprise-grade stablecoin built on trust, utility, and compliance. Available starting December 17th on MoonPay, Uphold, Coinmina, Bitso, Archix Exchange, and more coming soon. So very exciting stuff. And we have down here, in addition to Sheila Bair, David Puth, and Chris Larson, the Ripple Stablecoin Advisory Board welcomes. And here we have individuals from the Reserve Bank of India, Governor, the former first VP and COO of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, a team like no other. Why RLUSD? Well, fully backed by US dollar deposits, US government bonds, and other cash equivalents with monthly third-party audits, multi-chain support built for cross-border payments, DeFi integration, and bridging between fiat and crypto. RLUSD is a step towards the future of finance. I'm definitely going to go more in depth on this when it comes to, a video potentially later, because again, there's a lot to talk about with this RLUSD stablecoin. But I know that you guys have been getting annoyed recently with a lot of the talks and the discussions around the stablecoin, but I want you guys to understand that these stablecoins are so crucial for this space. I mean, even if you go and look at the DeFi market, okay? The DeFi market right now has a market cap of 177 billion. We're not even talking about TVL. Trading volume is about 18 billion. But you got to remember that this is just mainly retail driven. DeFi still has yet to actually have, institutions embrace it completely. When institutions are here and we have institutional DeFi use cases already live, this market is going to erupt in a large way, and stablecoins are the main driver of this. When you look at Tether, when you look at Circle, a lot of the growth around these two stablecoins are simply from the DeFi market alone. So I'm actually very excited about this stablecoin. Let me see. I got a few questions here. Atlantic Living. Nick, I can't help but notice Yusko was very unfavorable of the Garling House on 60 Minutes. Did you see that clip this morning on Thinking Crypto? I didn't, but I heard some things. I mean, listen, that 60 Minutes interview was a complete joke. I think everyone knows that. I think everyone is aware of that. I mean, when they're talking about how crypto has absolutely zero utility, it's just ridiculous. I mean, listen, go and do a little bit of research. Do 5 minutes of research. If you're sitting here saying that, crypto has no utility, you're completely lost. So that 60 Minutes interview was a complete joke. It was a ridiculous, segment as well. We have Daniel in the chat as well. We have Prince, XRP Den, welcome in. Crypto Clay, welcome in. Danger Drip, welcome in. Jason, welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. So what do you think the price will be on the pullback? Again, I'm still looking at that main level that I did outline on the 15th, right? I said from my point of view, it looks like XRP is trading in an inverse head and shoulder structure. We could potentially retest the area from the first shoulder around $2.21 before we see the big fireworks. This aligns with Bitcoin dominance having a lower time frame breakout with Bitcoin at resistance. I wouldn't mind seeing one last little flush before we see the big moves to the upside. It's very clear that XRP is coming for a new all-time high though, new all-time highs either way. by the end of the year or by Q1 of 2025. So that's the big focus I want you guys to, focus on, is like lower time frame structure. It doesn't really matter as long as you're taking a step back and realizing where we're at. I mean, if we really look at XRP right now, I just want to take a step back with you guys. This is the weekly chart, okay? This is the weekly chart, and I do have this gap up here. This is the all-time high. We're already trading over the 2021 highs, and look at where we're at right now on this chart. Now, again, it all depends on every other exchange where the all-time high actually is. But let's just be honest here. XRP is so close to breaking the all-time high on this chart. I do have that $3.84 level on the chart as well. XRP is clearly coming for a new all-time high. And when it does, it is going to be a very historical time in the market. But even if we look at the weekly, guys, this is on the, much higher time frame structure. Look at that bull flag formation on XRP. XRP is going to have a big break to the upside. I'm telling you guys right now, this structure right now on XRP is still very, very bullish. And we have yet to see the biggest moves in the market. I know that we have been very, very excited with, some of these recent moves, but I want you guys to understand that, this is nothing compared to where we're headed this cycle. Guys, we have over 2,300 XRP Army members in the chat right now. I want to see everyone put in the chat XRP to the moon. I want to see how many of you are actually sitting here listening in, and I want to see how many of you are in the chat. I want to see all of you spam in the chat with XRP to the moon. There we go. We also got a $20 super chat from JM. Welcome in. If RLUSD gets mass adoption / institutional use and XRP use skyrockets, would we still expect a bull market cycle top and bear cycle correction down 60 to 80%? Could it mass increase in use and validate typical bear market pullbacks? Well, the big thing that I always focus on whenever it comes to, the whole idea of like, all right, well, all pullbacks are going to be completely invalidated because of this, that, whatever. I don't try to get caught in narratives. The best way to make sure that you are taking profits and you're making sure that you're covering all your bases is simply by taking profits on the way up, keeping a very decent percentage in just in case. A moon bag will always save you the stress of not knowing what's going to happen next. In my opinion, with institutional use, we still need regulations, right? Like regulations are still so crucial for the space to actually see institutional mass adoption. So we still have some time, in my opinion. So, I would say just be a little bit more patient on the whole idea of like the cycle changing, because even right now, all of these cycles are kind of tied to one another. Until we see crypto completely step away from, following stocks and, the typical hype speculation narrative, I think that, it's still going to follow the 4-year structure technically, which is, again, it's all based on liquidity. So with liquidity kind of cooling off, with, things changing around the stock market, I know that a lot of people have been, predicting a stock market crash. Again, I would argue, don't get caught up in the narratives, because there's always going to be a narrative that traps retail. Guys, we just spammed the chat. Absolutely crazy to see so many people here. I absolutely appreciate everyone for stepping in, putting XRP to the moon in the chat. I see so many of you, in this chat right now. It is absolutely, just a blessed time to have this channel going. It's a blessed time to be here with all of you. And, we're in the month of Christmas as well. So, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays to everyone. I know that we're still a little bit early, right? We still have some time, but, I just want to make sure that, I wish everyone a good time. I hope everybody's having a great time. Hope everybody, everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's feeling blessed as well. So just wanted to, let you guys know the vibes are good right now. The vibes are all good. So, cheers to everyone out there. And, I do think that, eventually we will see crypto completely, step away from following stocks. And we'll start to see, crypto being more legitimized. And at that point, we'll probably have a lot of players utilizing crypto in a big way. Utilization of this technology will definitely push it, higher. I do think that once we have regulations in place, the enterprises and institutions that have been here for a while, they will be starting to really kind of kick things into overdrive. And I think that that's when everything starts to change. But I do think that XRP definitely stands at the forefront of a lot of this. So, I do think that we'll get there. It's one step at a time, but yeah, I still think that we're going to follow the 4-year cycle, at least for now. We got a $2 super chat from Lesko. I hope that I'm saying that name correctly. Thoughts on XYO? I think that's a solid DPIN project. It's been on Coinbase for a while, so retail does have a large amount of access to it. It's a very easy project to buy in. So I think that that's a very solid opportunity. We got Land Surveyor Matt, me in the chat. Welcome in, Matt. Viking Cat still here. Daniel still here. Enough Candy 2814 is still here. Nick, you think it will release on Coinbase tomorrow since it's already there? Thank you, man. Appreciate your work. Not too sure. I think that tomorrow we're going to start to see a lot of the exchanges that have been supporting it launching first. We'll eventually get it on Coinbase and all of the major T1 exchanges as well. So I think right now, right now we're just kind of going off of what Ripple is telling us. These are the exchanges that are going to be available starting on the 17th, which is tomorrow. Eventually, I do think that it will be on Coinbase, though. It probably, I think it's going to be on every single exchange. Just right now, it's going to be launching on those exchanges initially. So let me just see. I'm just sitting in my office drawing property maps for national resource conservations. Hey, sounds like a good time, Matt. It doesn't sound like a too bad of a time. You're just watching the live stream, watching the charts, seeing your XRP going up. Love to see it. Mike is in the chat. Bearded Lion's in the chat. Robert's in the chat. Lee's in the chat. Ryan, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. How is everyone doing right now? What's everyone sipping on? I know that it's early out there, so I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of espressos, coffees in the chat. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone doing? Good vibes out there for sure. Yep, coffee. I knew it. 5 p.m. in the UK. Hey, it's never too late for coffee. Let's just be honest here. I'm here. Hey, everyone. Welcome in, Cliff. Welcome in, Victor. Welcome in, Hannah. Welcome in, Lumen. Hey, Nick. How's it going, OE? Sipping on some coffee, watching the charts with you. Yeah, it's a good time. I just had some espresso before I started up the live stream, so we're doing pretty good. Can't lie. We got some tea here, positive from Robert. There's a lot of you out there. I'm trying to keep pace with the chat, but even on the slow mode for the chat, there's just so many of you out here. The XRP army is strong today. Some people are already drinking. Hey, celebration time, I suppose, right? Never too early for a beer. Yeah, I guess so, Ben. Yeah, listen, there's people watching that it's like 5 p.m. Like, what time is it where everyone's watching this from? I know that there's a lot of people in Australia. It's 3 a.m. in Australia. Hey, like I said, it's never too late for coffee. 3 a.m. We got 5 p.m., 9 a.m., SoCal, 12 p.m. We got a £2 donation from Lee L. XRP will bring me true freedom. It's more than money. Yeah, definitely. I think that, listen, there's a lot of projects in this space that I just see long-term being absolute monsters in terms of, investment vehicles. I think that the overall landscape for crypto is very similar to the internet early days, right? Like we're still early in the adoption and utilization of it. But then all at once, all it really takes is just one big use case to hit home. And I do think that tokenization is going to be that, or payments. We got a $2 super chat from Jordan. Hey, I appreciate the $2 super chat, man. Very grateful. There's been a lot of super chats in this live stream so far. So I just want to quickly say thank you to everyone that, stops out, donates to the channel. I'm telling you guys right now, any donations help the channel greatly. Almost everything that I make goes right back in to the business and to the channel. So I do appreciate everyone for stopping by, donating. We have a lot coming for the apparel business, actually. Tokenized Threads is getting a very big upgrade very, very soon. I think that a lot of people are going to appreciate that because we need to get some more XRP merch out there. We need some more HBAR merch out there. Even some just channel themed merch. I gotta get some hats and shirts and stuff made with the NCashOfficial logo on it. So we're definitely going to be investing a lot more into the channel, into some of the other things around the channel. So I'm very excited to see what happens next and see where everyone is liking the apparel and the overall focus of the channel going forward. What's the link for the apparel? So if you look down on the bottom of the screen, the crypto merch, tokenizedthreads.com and officialcryptoposters.com, those are both of my stores that I actually run. So they're both the apparel business of the channel. Somebody also asked me a quick question. Nick, have been with you since 20 cents. This is definitely, more fun. Yeah, Jeff, it's a lot more fun seeing XRP at $2.53 than in the middle of a bear market where FTX is imploding and and we have 20 cents on the chart for XRP. Bitcoin's going down to like $15,000. Yeah, it's definitely a lot better of a time now than than back in like 2022. We also got a 25 Norwegian krone super chat from Johannes. Hope that I'm saying that name correctly. I'm probably not butchering it, but regardless, we got Norway 6 p.m. I appreciate the super chat. So thank you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this $2.50 XRP turn into $5 very soon. And I do think that it's going to happen sooner than a lot of people expect. We got a lot of coffees in the chat. A lot of people still drinking a coffee. We got hello from Denmark, drinking a beer. Hey, 8 p.m. as well. We got a $20 super chat from RS. Hey, I appreciate that $20 donation. Very thankful for it as well. We got also another $2 super chat from Ryan Newton. Love your channel. Exciting times. Hey, Ryan, I appreciate that as well. And it definitely is exciting times. Again, I'm extremely blessed to have a lot of you guys in the chat. I just can't even put it into words on how much I appreciate every single one of you for stopping by. Being able to connect with everyone around the world, having something in common like investing into crypto or XRP, or just really kind of just being on this journey to, realize in the vision of crypto being integrated within the global financial system and the system in general. It's just exciting to really kind of be on this path with so many other individuals. I mean, right now, I still argue like 99% of the world is asleep at the wheel, not realizing what's going on when it comes to crypto. We see a lot of these conversations about how there's 400 million wallets or, there's this many users in crypto. Like how many of them are actually invested into XRP or HBAR or any of these utility projects? How many of them are actually focused on the big target, We also have another $2 super chat from Melissa Subi. May God bless us all with financial freedom. I completely agree, Melissa, and I do appreciate that $2 super chat. Thank you. And I hope that you have a blessed holiday, and I hope that everything's all well. We got coffee and milk from Chris, XRP from Hungary. Hey, it's awesome to see. 51 cents is my average, still going up because I'm still slacking. Hey, it's all good. Listen, 51 cents is a solid average when it comes to XRP. Is there an official announcement for RLUSD from Dennis? Yes, this is the official announcement over here from Ripple. This is the official announcement from Ripple. Even on their website, if you go to their website from ripple.com, we actually have raising the standard for stablecoins. Ripple USD launches globally with unmatched utility experience and compliance. So yeah, it's official. Tomorrow is the day. What about HBAR? HBAR is doing good. Hedera is going to be a very solid player. I've been talking about it for a little bit of time. I'm sure that a lot of people are aware. So yeah, HBAR is doing good. I appreciate all you do. Hey, I appreciate you, Crombie. So true, fast asleep. Told everyone about XRP. No one would listen. Yeah, it really is it really is a problem with individuals trying to tell their friends, tell their family, and they just don't want to listen. We got a $2 super chat from Boston Alex. Price prediction for XRP after ROUSD drops. Well, realistically speaking, I'm still expecting XRP to retest these lows down here to really kind of print in officially the inverse head and shoulders pattern. But I am still expecting XRP, like outside of narratives, outside of catalysts, outside of all of that, just from strictly TA, XRP is on a path to a new all-time high. And then my initial targets are $5 to $7. After that, we're looking for, 10 to 15. Nick, you made a big impact for me with how I invest in crypto, so thank you. Hey, I appreciate that, Cliff. We got a $10 super chat from Sooner Mal 5. Wu-Tang ain't nothing to mess with. Hey, I love it, dude. And I appreciate the super chat. Thank you to everyone for the super chats. Like I said, I'm very grateful for it. I really am extremely grateful for it. Also, please, if there's something that you guys do for me, please do not include how much crypto you have in the chat. I'm telling you guys, it is not a good thing. Please be very careful, be very vigilant, and just be aware, right? Don't tell anyone how much crypto you're holding. It just puts a target on your back, especially for, hackers, phishers, things like that. So just be aware of that. Super question, is Ripple USD different to XRP? Yeah, it's a stablecoin, right? So ROUSD is a stablecoin. It's going to be launching on the XRP ledger, and it's going to also be on Ethereum as well. But they already said that it's very complementary. Even around like cross-border payments, it's another vehicle that you could utilize for payments. If you NSA what got, you say I got. I just had a rough time reading that comment from you, Land Surveyor Matt. But yeah, I mean, listen, it when it comes to just like saying how much you hold, I would just say I hold large amounts of X, Y, and Z. What's the best, this, that, whatever. That way you're kind of keeping it still anonymous. We got Kane Corso Trading Club of America with the $5 super chat. Morning, Nick. With the release of Google's Willow, how do you think quantum computing will affect the future of Web3 and crypto? Hey, I appreciate that $5 super chat. I have actually been talking about the quantum financial system for a while. It is something that, a lot of people think is a conspiracy theory, actually. They think that it is just a conspiracy, but quantum tech is catching up in a big way. This is why I focus on Cellframe. It's why I focus on what Hedera is doing. We know that Ripple is also trying to make sure that the XRP ledger is quantum resistant as well. It's a big thing, and it's happening. Listen, China has been pushing forward with it. Russia has been pushing forward with it. Every single major enterprise and company out there is now looking into and investing into quantum resistant tech. So it's definitely going to be a big problem in the future for a lot of these projects around the space. Bitcoin actually is going to be facing a big problem when it comes to quantum tech. I think that Bitcoin is not going to be able to withstand it. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if Bitcoin devs can create something where, they make the Bitcoin network quantum resistant, then hey, that's good. But right now, it seems as though not much is happening. That's why I look at these blockchains and these DLTs in this space that are quantum resistant, or at least building towards it. So I do think that quantum resistant technology is going to be a big deal. I think blockchain is one of the most secure next generation technologies, which is why I do think that a lot of these enterprises, institutions, and even the government as well will be looking into adopting it and utilizing it. Got in a little later, $2.15 average. Here's hoping that will be good enough. Tyler, trust me, when we really think about what's going on around this space, some of these averages, when we really look at what's going on, I'm telling you, a lot of people are not ready to see what's about to happen when it comes to this space. Because when we're talking about the adoption, the utilization of this tech in some of these industries and these sectors, I mean, I always look at these individual asset classes. Like, we look at the global real estate market, right? 360 trillion or something the last time I looked at it. When we look at these asset classes, they will be tokenized on chain. they will be tokenized on chain. And right now, if we really look at this market, it has roughly a $3.74 trillion market cap. One asset class valued at over $300 trillion living on chain. Yeah, we have a beautiful future ahead for this technology. I'm telling you guys right now, you need just take a step back and look at how early we actually are. Best way to store crypto. I love the DCENT wallets. You know, I know a lot of people hate the Ledger wallets because of certain things happening around the space with Ledger. I've never had an issue with Ledger, but I know that DCENT definitely does have the overall way that the Ledger wallet's set up versus DCENT. DCENT is a much better opportunity for, you know, storing crypto, but Ledger definitely does have a great desktop app. That's what really kind of sets them both apart, is just the desktop app. I know that Tangem is definitely a good one as well. A lot of people love Tangem, but, you know, I'm still just kind of stuck on DCENT and Ledger. They're the two that I've just been using for years now. Longtime follower, love the content, Nick. Gives it as straight as possible, regardless if you love it or not. Hey, I appreciate that, Ali. Hedera is quantum resistant, is why more important than AI. Yeah, Hedera definitely is quantum resistant. They've been really kind of building out that resistant tech around Hedera for so long. Lehman Barrett has been addressing it for a bit of time. It's something that I think everyone should be aware of, because quantum tech is advancing faster than anyone thought possible. Like, they said, like, oh, you know, quantum technology is not going to be a big thing. Like, quantum computing is not going to be a big thing until like 2030, 2035. Guess what? It's here now, and it's happening in a big way. That's how fast things are accelerating. They do have a quantum resistant crypto list out there. I don't know if it's accurate or not. I've been looking into a few things and doing the research, but a lot of what I do see, most of it is inaccurate with a lot of these lists, because again, who's ever writing these articles, who's ever, you know, putting these lists together, I don't know if they're just, you know, grabbing a few names or getting paid to put certain names on the list, but a lot of it is just nonsense. So we got a few other individuals in the chat. We got Tangem is good. Just make sure your wallet is air gapped. Yeah, 100%. Air gapped is so crucial when it comes to these cold storage devices. Thanks, Len. I told my buddy 5K or 50K XRP is a great bag. One other's opinion. Don't know anyone who knows anything about any of this stuff. XRP to the moon. Yup. What does air gapped mean? Essentially, it's not connected to anything else. With a lot of these wallets, they're actually connected back to like they say like decentralized nodes and networks, but there's always that risk that it could still be potentially, you know, hacked. Or I mean, there's so many things that we've been hearing over the last couple of years with Ledger. I know that a lot of people don't trust Ledger anymore. Back in like 2019, 2020, there was a time where Ledger actually like doxed everyone's addresses. So again, it's all up to personal opinion. The number one thing when it comes to these wallets is just make sure that you're buying it from a legitimate, you know, store, their official website, but also make sure that you have multiple cold storage devices. Don't just hold all of your crypto on one cold storage device, because diversifying your cold storage devices is just another step. And I know that it might be a tedious step, but it is a step that I always recommend, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know, you know, you can't guess the future. At some point in time, things can happen. You just don't know. We also got a new member joining the channel, Drunken Trader. Hey, I appreciate you becoming a member and supporting the channel. Love the name as well. And we also got a $2 super chat from Family YouTube. Hey, I appreciate it. We got another $5 super chat from Sunermouth5. Guess I'll ask an actual question now. Thoughts on Zill, One, Velo, Casper, and Dag? What a substantial list. We got Zill. So Zill is definitely one of those old dino coins that hasn't really caught on much. they have been advancing a few things around like the gaming side of things. They've been branching out with esport teams. I think that it will perform. I do think that there's better opportunities out there in terms of Harmony One. Again, it's kind of one of those laggards from like 2021 that really didn't perform all that well. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it didn't perform the way that a lot of people expect it. So again, with Harmony One, I still think that there's just better opportunities out there. And with Velo is one of those projects that everyone has been pushing significantly because they think that it's going to be similar to XRP. I'm not too sure if it's going to be as big, but I do think that it's a good choice, and it definitely does have the utility side to it. So it's a pretty solid choice if you were looking into adding another utility project to your list. Casper, I'm sure that you guys already heard the interview that I did with Michael. I do think that the future of Casper is in good hands, and I do think that Casper is going to perform very well. I think that they're doing some good things and they're starting to grow significantly. So I definitely think everyone should be looking into it a bit. Outside of that, DEG. The only thing about DEG that I don't like is they're using a lot of they're using like these partnerships as a way to like say like, oh, we're partnered up with them, but it's actually like hackathons and things like that that they're doing. So they're not actually partnered up with some of these players that they're saying that they're partnered up with, and they're also paying for some of these things that they're doing with, like, for an example, I think it's like the United States Department of Defense or whatever. Like some of those contracts that are in place are paid for contracts. So that's the only thing that I don't like about DEG. Outside of that, I still think that it performs well. We also got a $2 super chat from Lewis. Hey, I appreciate it. And also a $10 super chat from I Heart Cryptoverse. How do you feel about paper wallets? I don't think I really heard about paper wallets all that much. I'm just kind of aware of, Ledger, DCENT, Tangem, and a few other ones like that. Outside of that, I'm not too sure what you mean. Unless you're talking about, I know that there was a wallet recently, and I think it came out back in like 2022. I might be wrong on this, but it was a wallet that was actually metal, and you put like it had like a seed phrase that you put on like this piece of metal basically, and you stored away, and it was like fireproof and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. I'm not too sure. Hey Nick, how is ISO 2002 going to compete with XRP without having their own ledger? Well, ISO 2002 is just a standard. ISO 2002 actually has been around since 2004. All it really is just a messaging standard, so it's not competing with anything. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to ISO 2022, I wouldn't really worry about that. It's just a messaging standard. Will XRP ETF pump the price? I do think that initially it won't, but over time it will, simply because of buying volume and more individuals jumping in. Yeah, TC307. TC307 is one that everyone should be looking forward to, because that's the standard that actually means a lot for DLT and blockchain. Hi Nick, how about XDC? XDC is a solid player. I don't hold any XDC. Full transparency, guys. I had to consolidate my portfolio. I don't hold any XDC. I know that you guys are probably going to scold me. XDC will be an absolute monster. I look forward to accumulating a lot of it after this this market cycle. I'm going to be holding on to a lot of these utility plays for the inevitable future. Thanks for the answers, Nick. No problem. What's the easiest friendly cold wallets? DCENT is definitely solid. Hey Nick, what are your price targets for sell? I think that sell is going to be a big winner. I'm initially looking forward to seeing $10. After that, we really kind of look at like $50. But I think that's going to be a big winner. We got a $2 super chat from I Heart Cryptoverse again. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. What price are we going to today? You think we break into the $2.60 level? Well, we need to break over $2.65 before we even get excited. That's the first major key area of resistance. I mean, anywhere between like 262 to 265 is all resistance. Hi, Nick. Do you hold XRP? Yeah, 100%. XDC was a smaller bag of mine, and I wanted to hold a lot more. It's just that my portfolio did not allow it. I think that XDC is, listen, trade finance is one of the most unique use cases for this type of technology. So again, I think that a lot of people are overlooking the trade finance space, and XDC will be a major driver of trade finance digitalization. So definitely focus on trade finance, focus on XDC. If you have space in your portfolio, or if you already hold XDC, then listen, that's definitely going to be one of the biggest winners out there. Scavenger hunt idea. I have each seed phrase tattooed on the nice. How much XRP to retire from green money? It all depends on what your retirement plan looks like, how much money you're looking to, retire with, and then really kind of just addressing where we potentially see XRP going in 2025 and beyond. But I feel like I feel like the best way to really kind of plan a retirement around this space right now is just kind of planting seeds and watching them grow, because over time this space is going to grow significantly. Again, I compare it to the internet boom, I compare it to any significant technological boom in the past. This is much larger than anything that we have witnessed in history. I always say that. You got to think about it. This is like, when we look at credit cards and debit cards, this is nothing compared to that. And you see, like, I'm sure everyone knows how big the debit card and credit card boom was. Yeah, this is much larger than that. This is fundamentally changing the way money works, how money moves, how it's settled. We're witnessing a completely different monster of a technological revolution. I mean, we're changing the plumbing of finance globally. XDC price prediction, I've always looked at 85 cents to $1 as being the main target this cycle. We'll definitely have to wait and see if that happens, but that's what I'm really kind of looking for with XDC. And I see a lot of you asking about XDC. I didn't skip you, I saw it as well, but I figured I would just kind of answer it all together. Casper definitely does have a long road to recovery, but it does remind me of ADA. Again, if you look at ADA was the same exact, way back in 2020. So I just kind of feel like Casper has a very similar story tied to it. And I feel like Casper is very similar to ADA back in like 2020 to 2021. So I think right now everyone's kind of writing Casper off. We'll see at the end of this bull run what Casper does. And we'll definitely revisit it, because I think that, Casper is definitely going to surprise a lot of people. Especially after that interview. Listen, that interview opened my eyes to a lot of things, because there's a few things that I wasn't even aware of when it comes to Casper that Michael did really kind of address in that interview. So I'm very happy to do that interview. It was just an hour of just incredible information regarding one of my top holdings. We have here from Dinos Before, nice, $5 super chat. What do you think about the block DEG, Rex's Finance, and Lunix pre-sales? I haven't heard about them, if I'm being honest, so I can't really speak on them too much. Maybe I'm missing out on a few things, but I definitely heard a few bad things about Lunix. And we have somebody in the chat saying heard Rex is a scam. So I would just be cautious with a lot of those pre-sales. Majority of those pre-sales actually launch and then just completely die out. So just be cautious with that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were saying block DEG's a scam as well. So I would just be cautious with a lot of those pre-sales, and just be aware, like, most of them do go to zero. Will it dip to $2.33 before going again? I mean, that's listen, my thought process on XRP is still what I said the other day, where I was expecting us to really kind of sell off down to like the $2 and like 20 cent level, and then actually push to the upside of like 270 plus. So we'll see. I mean, so far, I mean, the initial pump here on XRP was about like 9.28%. Right now, we're just kind of hanging out around $2.52. So we'll see what happens here. Any thoughts on Q&T? Q&T solid. I still hold a decent amount of Q&T. If you believe in the whole central banks using crypto in a large way and pushing CBDCs and things like that, Q&T is probably your best friend for that, because they're creating that bridge between, you know, central banks and DLT to leverage the DLTs around central bank money and wholesale money, tokenized deposits, things like that. Q&T doesn't really care about retail simply because retail is not their focus. We got a $5 super chat from Let's Talk Human Sense. Alippa was a really good cold storage wallet, air gapped and touchscreen. Yeah, I heard good things about it. In fact, they actually reached out to me recently about becoming an affiliate of the wallet for the channel, but I don't know. Right now, I'm just kind of sticking with what I know. You know, Ledger and DCENT have been very, very good for me. I've been using them for years now with zero issues. We got a $2 super chat from Let's Go. Thoughts on Vechain? So outside of Vechain partnering up with the UFC, you know, I haven't really looked into Vechain all that much. I know that they've been doing some good things. I just don't like the supply on Vechain, but it's like one of those projects that I feel like has a lot of retail hype behind it. Retail is definitely focused on it. You hear about Vechain every single time that you watch UFC. So, I mean, it's kind of like right in front of retail eyes. The supply definitely concerns me. I've been looking more so into lower supply projects for this this run up. So, you know, again, when we really think about some of these projects, like Vechain is just one that I kind of stayed away from for a bit of time. But they've been doing some solid things around tokenization for like the retail sector. Like they've been tokenizing things around the retail sector. We got a $10 super chat from Nathan. Everyone here deserves to be rich. Research, buy, profit, repeat. Also, VAI dead or buy the lows. Vechain's still a pretty good project. I've been following a few things around them. In fact, what's interesting about Vechain is that recently the AI agent hype has started to pick up in a big way, which I do think is going to be very good for Vechain as well. I mean, in the last month, Vechain's been doing pretty good. I'm fully expecting VAI to really have a big reversal. So far, the trading volume has been starting to pick up around it as well. So I think that it's going to be, I think that's going to be a big winner this cycle as well, along with the AI hype building up again. You know, we've been hearing a lot of talks about AI recently now, building up a little bit more. I know that AI was huge back in like the beginning of the year, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We also got a question about MBD. So how do you feel about MBD? Are we still bullish? Please share thoughts on the price action. Yeah, they just recently launched I think it's like their boulevard, or at least a piece of their boulevard. They're still building. I'm expecting more exchange listings. I think that's the number one thing that they need to focus on right now. They need to improve liquidity as well. So, you know, until they do that, we're still probably going to sit idle a bit, in my opinion. We'll have to watch, wait and see, but I just want to see them really kind of focus on exchange listings and building out the liquidity for the token. We also have a new member of the channel, Lewis. Welcome in, becoming a supporter of the channel. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Roger that. Tomorrow it is. We just need Gensler gone now. January can't come fast enough. Yeah, I mean, listen, think about the landscape for XRP right now. I know that I mentioned it earlier in the live stream, but for those that are just stopping out, let's actually talk about this real quick. The landscape for XRP is extremely bullish. Gary Gensler stepping down January 20th. New admin jumping in January as well. Pro crypto. We have Congress now basically becoming a pro crypto Congress as well. I mean, everything is starting to look very good for crypto in the US. at the same exact time that a US based company, aka Ripple, is launching a fully regulated compliant stablecoin targeting institutional DeFi. I mean, it is kind of crazy if you really, take a step back and think about what's going on right now around the US market. Ripple is right there knocking on the door with the XRP ledger, with the stablecoin, prepared to completely revolutionize finance and help the US become a dominant force around this technology. We got a big $2 super chat from Lamby17. In 5 years, XRP is what, in your opinion? I think $75. Well, let's think about it, right? We're about to usher into 2025. And in 5 years, we'll be at 2030. When we go back and look at the projections around 2030, they're saying $16 trillion for the tokenized market. So the tokenized market will be 16 trillion. The custody of tokenized assets will be 10 trillion. There's 26 trillion there. If we're looking at this cycle, crypto going to about 5 to 7 trillion. Moonboy targets 10 trillion. By 2030, we should be looking at 15 to 20 trillion for the overall market. The market will be regulated, so almost 90% of the market will be completely gone. What will be left over is the legitimate utility-based projects that have, compliance tied to them, that are regulated. So if we're thinking about that, XRP by that point, I wouldn't be surprised to see XRP trading between, let's say, $50 to $75. So I think that you're right on target with that $75 prediction. I mean, a lot of people will say $100. I just don't. We have to see what happens because there's a lot of unknowns that happen within the next 5 years. I mean, if we're talking about crypto, let's see. If we're talking about crypto being integrated within the system and utilization going absolutely crazy, I mean, listen, we could see the space go beyond anyone's price predictions. It's such an unknown, landscape right now around crypto, beyond the fact that we now have a pro crypto admin. We have a pro, crypto, essentially US based economy that wants to embrace stablecoins, CBDCs, things like that. I just think that the space is going to be so much bigger than anyone can even imagine. I think that it goes beyond anything that we could even think about. We could talk about the what ifs. Like, what if XRP becomes, the settlement asset for, Swift? A lot of people love to bring that up. Or like, what if 10 trillion to 50 trillions on the XRP ledger, and we see, 24/7 365 trading? Or, what if all these banks use XRP? Like, there's so many what ifs. We want to see things actually happen to determine the price. Right now, XRP is trading at $2.52 with practically zero institutional use. So think about that, right? Like, there's practically zero institutional use behind XRP, and we're still trading at about $2.52. People are predicting Bitcoin to go to $1 million by 2030. They don't even realize what market cap Bitcoin would have at $1 million. And then they say XRP, there's no way XRP can hit 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus dollars. But we're supposed to believe that Bitcoin, driven by just buying demand, is going to hit $1 million. It's just crazy to me. No Gary Gensler. Trump will make sure of it. Trump and Vance hold a ton of crypto. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, a lot of people have been saying, like, we could get a Gary Gensler 2.0. I just don't see it happening. And the reason why I say that is because if we really look at what's going on outside of the US, right? Like, think about what has happened in the last 12 months for, the BRICS nations. China has been embracing digital technology for so long around, the space. Russia has been pushing forward with, cross-border payments and trade made through digital assets and DLT technology. I mean, almost every single nation wants to become a crypto hub. So if we're thinking about that, the race is on. It's officially on to become a dominant force behind this technology. This is basically Silicon Valley 2.0. Whoever is ahead when it comes to this tech, and whoever embraces it first and starts utilizing it first, they will completely dominate the overall, financial landscape, because it's going to open up so many jobs, so many opportunities. Who's ever the one to really kind of embrace this first, they are going to absolutely kill the game. That's why I do think that it's so important for the US to be ahead on this. And I think that that's exactly why Eric Trump and even Trump himself have been talking about, we need to embrace this. We can't let this just, fly by us, which is also why I focus on the US based companies like Ripple, Hedera, Cardano, Algorand. There's so many great projects in the space that are US based that have incredible technology behind them, incredible, innovations behind them. So we definitely focus on that. Hedera is definitely solid, 100%. XDC Trade Finance, my fifth heaviest bag. Yeah, XDC will do very good, but it's not US based. That's the only thing about it, but I still think that it is going to be like a massive player. Given the institutional investment and integration of Bitcoin, will the altcoin season be time altered and drastically reduced? If so, to what extent? No. I mean, what are they integrating Bitcoin into exactly? I mean, when we're thinking about Bitcoin, like, yeah, we're going to see, Bitcoin become an institutional investment vehicle for the retail sector so that these institutions can get rich off the backs of the retail sector just by buying Bitcoin. But what integration of Bitcoin? You're not going to be able to transact over Bitcoin. You're not going to tokenize anything on Bitcoin. Why? Because it is not viable as a transactional, network. You can't transact on Bitcoin. It is so inefficient. I mean, when we're comparing it to the traditional world, yeah, sure, it's great, but it's slow, it's old, and it's expensive compared to, the XRP ledger, compared to Hedera, Algorand, Stellar, etc. We have Flare. What's your thoughts on Flare? I've answered this question a million times, but for the sake of this live stream, I'll answer it again. I just don't like the fact that Hugo pushed the idea that Flare is 100% needed for the XRP ledger. If you hold XRP, you need to be holding Flare. Like, there was so many discussions around Flare back in like 2020 as being like a crucial piece for the XRP ledger for it to be successful. And then even recently, I want to say like 2 years ago, maybe I'm, getting my time frame wrong on this, but Hugo was basically saying like XRP has no utility outside of, Flare. Like, it 100% needs Flare to have utility. So that's the only thing that really kind of rubbed me wrong around Flare. I still hold my airdrop, which is practically, valueless at this point, but, I just don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Hugo. I think that the project will perform. I think that it will do good. It's just, I don't like when, we hear these conversations of how like, oh, the XRP ledger needs this or that. Like, even Ripple did a 180 on Flare with the Axelar integration. Thank you for your response. Where do you see the minimum price for MBD? I truly appreciate your input. I'm looking for 0.0025. That's the price that I'm really kind of looking forward to seeing. Nick, do you think XRP will drop under $2 before it pumps? No, I'm not seeing it, Crow. Jasmine, I've heard a lot of things about it, but I avoid it just because there's better opportunities out there. We have Fit21 in U.S. Senate. No Senate bill drafted yet. Then veto SAB 121. Then sign stablecoin bill. Then shred Bitcoin reserve bill. Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of big moves happening here soon. I mean, we have so many pro crypto players on board now, so we'll definitely have to see what happens. But I do think that 2025 is going to be a major year for crypto, especially just not just like price wise, but like the actual integration, adoption, and acceptance of crypto. Like, all of that is going to change in 2025. Ripple needs nothing but XRP and liquidity. Yeah, I mean, listen, Ripple is absolutely killing the game right now. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance. I'm expecting Bitcoin dominance to continue to sell off very soon. Let's actually just open it real quick. So when we look at Bitcoin dominance, this is what the overall chart looks like for it. This is the 15-minute, obviously, so it's going to look rough, but this is the 4-hour chart. So yesterday in my video, I think I was looking at the daily, right? So on the daily, this is the issue with Bitcoin dominance, right? It has this nice low here after finding this low. So this was actually one of the most significant lows for Bitcoin dominance, but now we have this higher low structure and we're actually breaking to a higher high on the lower time frames. I don't want to see us cross this like 58% level. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is having what, in my opinion, would be a dead cat bounce. I'm still expecting it to sell off. The reason why we are seeing altcoins really kind of drag is because of how much Bitcoin is moving right now with Bitcoin dominance. I mean, even right now, Bitcoin trading volume is up 87% today, sitting at about $83 billion, which is just insane to me. But, guys, we just hit the overall 1 hour mark on this live stream. I am going to be wrapping this up. We'll definitely talk more about XRP later tonight. I might be doing another live stream tonight, depending on what happens. I want to do a lot more live streams. I'm thinking about Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Again, we have to see what happens and where my time constraints are. But I do appreciate everyone for stopping by. I appreciate all the super chats. You guys are absolutely insane. I do hope everyone has an incredible rest of the month. The holidays are here, so I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays with everyone. Hope all the families and everyone out there is doing good. Hope everyone's blessed, and I look forward to seeing an incredible year going forward. And I look forward to seeing a lot more price movements on the horizon towards the end of this month as well, to really kind of give us all a financial gift as well this holiday season. So thank you to everyone for stopping by. I appreciate all the support, and going to wrap up the show. So with that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video and this live stream, definitely hit the like, subscribe, turn notifications on to never miss a future update. If you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to join me in the free Discord, as well as follow me over on X. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.